Hello, it's Alex. Welcome back to my channel. I'm here today to talk about sewing patterns for autumn. There's a lot to get through, so I'm going to do it in two halves. This one today is bottoms, so trousers, jeans and skirts, and then tomorrow I will be back with dresses and tops. And I've also got a bit of a mini fabric haul to show you because I couldn't resist. Before I move on to that, I do just want to say thank you so much for the brilliant comments and feedback from my last video. You all said lovely things about my white Berda blouse, but really it was the Kielo wrap dress. I really needed somebody to tell me whether I was going mad or not, and you all came up trumps. I've never been so pleased to have so many people say that something I've made didn't look that great. My husband couldn't work it out because I kept going, yes, another person doesn't like it. It's like, what's wrong with you? Anyway, most of you agreed that it wasn't really working, and you all came up with some brilliant suggestions for what to do. I've had a little look through the comments and I cannot find the fantastic suggestion because I wanted to name check the person who suggested it. Somebody was saying what they had done was they had eliminated the side flap bits, just sewn straight down, but incorporated those sides inside to make them into pockets. And had I wanted to keep it as a dress, that's what I would have done. I think that's an absolutely genius suggestion. However, what I did was very basic, because I know I'm going to wear it a lot, and that is to just turn it into a top. So I'd already got the sleeves cut, if you remember. So I put the sleeves on and I literally just went straight down, and I have turned it into a fairly standard basic jersey top. It's not perfect because originally the dress version I was making was sleeveless, so there was less fabric here. So I don't know if you'll be able to see, but the shoulder, actually I could do a bit of a better press actually, the shoulder starts about there instead of here. But you know, that's what hair's for, isn't it? Nobody's going to notice it. I've probably bought many ready-to-wear things and not even realised that the shoulder was a bit off. And as I said on that video, I really like this fabric from Lamazi Fabrics. I'm definitely going to wear this an awful lot more like this. I now have a pile of fabric. I've got bits like this. I'm going to be able to make something. If nothing else, I'm thinking maybe pyjamas, because I like the ones, you know, with shorts, being a lady of a certain age. Anyway, I'll get on to doing that at some point, but I'm really pleased with this, and yeah, thank you so much. It's a bit like having a really good friend, you know, a really good friend that won't just give you some old flannel and tell you that you look great in something that you don't really look great in. So I really appreciated that. Really nice, honest comments and feedback, so thank you. And oh, I'm always forgetting to mention the subscribe thing. I'm absolutely useless, but it has come up that YouTube are no longer sending emails out when somebody you subscribe to is posting a new video. So it's definitely worth checking on YouTube a bit more regularly, and if you do like what you see here and you fancy subscribing, click the button. That would be great. I remembered. So my thoughts with this collection of patterns is not so much to look at the kind of more unusual patterns or the ones that have got some kind of extra little bit of interest. I'm looking more at basics, those kind of items that we grab time and time again in our wardrobes. And I thought what I would do is look at some of my old favourites, but also look at some patterns that I haven't made that I would really like to make, that I've seen. This is also, of course, notwithstanding the fact that there are no doubt about to be a whole new load of patterns released. If I was a sewing pattern designer, I would be releasing some new patterns for autumn over the next couple of months. I'm sure all the indies will be doing that, certainly the big four will. So we've got lots of lovely stuff coming up, hopefully. But thought I'd start with trousers, and really for me trousers come in three main categories: jeans, which I'll come on to, and then you've got kind of straight leg trousers and wide leg trousers. Made a pair very recently, so I don't need to go into too much detail, but I really like the Sidewinder pants from the Sewing Revival. They're just pull on, so they're dead easy to wear. They have that elasticated back, but it's somehow it's been designed so that there's not too much bulk around the back, because none of us want extra bulk around our waists, do we? So I'll put a link below to those, but I find those to be a really good standard pair, and because they come with a couple of different treatments, I think there's a cuff and an elasticated hem, so there's a few different options there. So those are my kind of favourite, you know, TNT pattern. But I also wanted to look at new ones, and I happen to have bought this month's Burda magazine in the last couple of days, and there is what I consider to be the perfect pair of straight leg trousers in here, and I think they're great. They have a flat front and a nice sharp crease down the centre, which can look really nice. So certainly if I was working away from home, this is the kind of trousers I would make. Obviously I haven't made them. The downside of course with the Burda ones from the Burda magazine is you have the joy that is the tracing off the patterns. But my little cheeky tip, if you spot something in here and you really cannot be faffed to do all of that, is you can go onto their website and order the pattern and download it as a PDF. I mean, obviously you pay for it, and you do still need to put the dreaded seam allowance on. So another pattern that I've spotted, I already bought it a few months ago, with a straight leg trouser, is the Stylark Lunar pants. I'm really hoping that I get around to making those. They are designed for a stretch woven, and I do think a stretch woven is a perfect fabric for trousers, because, you know, it obviously makes them much more comfortable. This is another one that's a pull-on, so it's got a faux fly front, so nobody will know there's not a zip there, but without the bulk and the hassle, frankly. They're a 7/8 length. Now I quite like that length, but if I wanted to make them longer, obviously you just add a bit of length on, so that's not really too difficult. And they do have the option to have a split hem just at the ankle, just gives a bit more detail. So I think they look like a really good option as well. And the other style of trouser that I really would like to make for autumn is a pair of wide leg trousers. So I've been having a look around to see what patterns there are, and good old Tesutti have come up trumps actually with two options. One is their new pattern, which is the Avalon pants, which are designed for a stable stretch fabric, so the obvious choice being a ponte, and I bet that these in a ponte would be so comfortable to wear. But I do think wide leg trousers look really nice, especially if a more fitted top. I think that can look really good. So I think these are going to be really nice to make, and I noticed that Kristen from the Dahlia Society was saying she's made a pair recently, and they don't even have a side seam, so they're dead easy to sew. So they are definitely on my list. And then if I wanted a more slightly less casual pair of wide leg trousers, Tesutti also have the Chiara pants, which is for a woven fabric, and I'm fairly sure that's one with a side zip. And I do like a side or a back zip, just because you know, I've got a bit of a tummy. The last thing I want is any more bulk around that kind of front tummy area. So I think both of those are really great patterns for wide leg trousers. The next category is jeans, and the jeans pattern that I've made very successfully is the Closet Case ginger jeans. And there's two options, but I like the high rise. They come as skinny jeans, but then also I think they call it stovepipe, which is the one I go for. So I do stovepipe legs, high-waisted, and I found that to be really good. It's also, if you're someone that hasn't made jeans and you fancy giving them a go, it's a really good pattern because they hold your hand all the way through it. It is only a series of steps. I'm fairly sure there's a tutorial. So many people have made them. There's a wealth of information online and lots of help to get you through. but once you've made a pair of jeans that fit you, it's incredibly satisfying, and really there's no going back. You probably won't ever buy a pair of jeans again. I recently made those orange Birkin trousers, and which are the flares, and I really like those, so I'm probably going to make a pair of those in denim this autumn, just as an alternative option. They also are high rise, I'm fairly sure. So yeah, those are my sort of two favourites, but I do have a couple of pairs of jeans sewing patterns that I would like to try. One is kind of interesting really. It's the Mountain View jeans from Itch to Stitch. And the reason I'm interested in making these is these are pull-on jeans. So they look like normal jeans. They have a fly, but it's a faux fly. And you know, they have all the pockets and all the bits and pieces you normally would have, but they have a really wide waistband so that you can literally just pull them on. And I'm just intrigued to see how this pattern works, because I've had a little look and a lot of the options that I've seen people make look really good. So you'd never know, unless, I suppose if you tuck something in, you would see that it's not a standard waistband. But if you've got, you know, a top like I'm wearing today that's untucked, no one's ever going to know, and they look really comfortable. So I'm really intrigued. I really fancy giving those a try. And then kind of almost at the opposite end of the spectrum to the Mountain View jeans is Dawn jeans, and they are designed for proper solid denim, no stretch in it at all. I was going to make them last year and I didn't do it in the end, so I know I've got denim in my stash ready. I've got the pattern up there somewhere ready, just need to give them a go. They again come with 3 or 4 different types of leg, but they're going to be harder to do because you've not got any stretch, and the thing with that kind of rigid denim is it softens up over time, so you've kind of got to make them so that they're a bit tight to start with. So I'm just, again, I'm intrigued about the process of that, but a little bit daunted. But they're a good one to check out. I'm kind of keen to know if anyone's made them. Let me know how it went. The next category is skirts, and I haven't really been a massive wearer of skirts, but I have just over the last year or so been wearing skirts a little bit more often. When I do, I tend to prefer them to be quite long, to be midi or even longer. Last year, the pattern that I really liked was the Tesutti Evie bias cut skirt. I really enjoyed that. It was really easy to make, but I made it in a satiny fabric, and anything bias cut is going to cling, and in a satiny fabric it's fairly unforgiving. So there just were days where I just went to wear it and then thought, oh, no, I'm not. I just don't want to. So if I made it again, and I think I will, I would make it in something with a print that's not going to be quite so highlighting of my figure below it. But I do think it's a really nice skirt. There's a new look pattern, and it's a pleated skirt. It's not pleated all the way around, but it's part pleated, but it's stitched down to sort of hip level, and for me I prefer that because I like skirts that have got fullness, gathers or pleats, but I don't really want that around the waist because, as I'm always saying, I'm a bit thicker at the waist. So I like the ones that are flat around the waist or flat and then kind of gathered or tiered out. So this one looks really good. I'm interested in making something with pleats. But yeah, this one with them being stitched down just means I won't have that extra bit of bulk. And there's a couple of lengths, and there's the option to have a split or not have a split. And I'm quite keen to make this one. So this one is definitely on my list. And then the other one that's been on my list probably since last year is, I'm afraid, another Tesutti patterns, and that is the Madden skirt. It's the one that's got buttons up the front, which again, I think in something, I don't know, like a cord or a denim, to be honest, in almost anything, I think that skirt would look really great. So those are my skirts. Before I go, I just want to show you my fabric haul, and this is quite possibly the most inexpensive fabric I have ever bought in my life. I met up with Gemma at the weekend, who I mentioned recently. She had just started a blog and she's called the Hammy Dressmaker, Hammy Stitcher, I think Hammy Dressmaker. We've never met before. We both live in Manchester, and she had mentioned that she likes to buy fabric at Longsight Market. I thought I knew everywhere in Manchester that sold fabric, but I hadn't heard of Longsight Market. So said I'd love to join her one day, and we went on Saturday. Oh my goodness, if you're in the northwest of England, that's where you need to go. Let me show you what I bought. And by the way, Gemma was a brilliant enabler. She kept saying, that would suit you, that's your kind of thing. So this is what I got. And starting with the most expensive, I bought this viscose, which is, you know, a very me kind of a colour. £2.50 a metre. £2.50. So I bought 3 metres of it, because at that price, that way, with 3 metres, if I find a dress pattern that's, you know, very fabric hungry, I'm sorted. I don't really know what I'm going to make out of it. I might make a top, I might make a shirt, but yeah, couldn't resist. And by the way, £2.50 was the most I paid for anything. I also, from the same store, £2.50 a metre. How fab is that? So yeah, again, 3 metres of that. And then we went round to another stall and I spotted, well actually Gemma spotted this. She said, this is very you. Right. I had literally been looking for something floral. Now I know I'm always saying I'm not a very floral person, but I'm looking for something floral with orange, and there it is. It's not even on a white background, it's on a, you know, kind of perfect creamy oystery colour background, which is exactly what I was looking for. And I mean, it's polyester, so you know, it's obviously you're not going to get silk for these kind of prices, but this was £1.80 a metre. So oh, also from the same guy that was selling the 2 viscose fabrics at £2.50, he had some plain colours as well as some patterns, and I bought 3 metres of this green, which I thought was a very me kind of a green, and again, that kind of price seemed crazy not to. And then I bought for this chiffon with a sort of geometric design on it, and I'm fairly sure from memory it was £1 a metre. I don't think I've ever paid £1 a metre anywhere. So again, I bought, I don't know, possibly 3 metres of that as well. And then last but not least, what I said to her when we met up was that I was looking for some orange lining, and I found this, which is a really great burnt orange. I'm not sure this is strictly speaking lining fabric, but again, it's polyester. So I've bought quite a lot of this because I just love the colour. Hold on, does that work with my hair? Just had my roots done yesterday, so I'm looking particularly vibrant. Yeah, couldn't resist. So yeah, again, I think that was £1 a metre. If it wasn't £1, it was something like 150, 180, but it was not very much. And Gemma also bought some really nice fabric. She's got some amazing jersey in a really gorgeous sort of bluey grey colour with floral print on it, which will look fabulous on her. So I'm so excited because I've now got, not only have I now got another place to go and find fabric, it's really cheap. And the other thing they have in the market there is a couple of stalls with haberdashery, with buttons and threads and all of that sort of thing. And a lot of those really beautiful embellishments and, what am I saying? What's the word I'm looking for? You know, trimmings and things. Because obviously there's a big Asian community in the area. So a lot of those lovely Indian and Pakistani designs, which are just, oh, gorgeous. So it's an absolute find, and it was really lovely to meet Gemma as well, and to yeah, get together. You know, when you meet someone you've never met before, it's always a bit nerve-wracking, but she was absolutely lovely, and yeah, felt like I met a new friend. So that's my cheapest fabric haul ever. Anyway, I will be back soon, well, I'll be back tomorrow even for you, with the remainder of the kind of patterns for autumn, and it's going to be dresses and tops. All right, thanks a lot. Bye bye.